Patriots fans, the week has been packed with emotion, and stepping back to look at everything that unfolded, it becomes clear that this team keeps finding ways to survive storms that would break a lot of franchises. Coming off another hard-fought win, the kind that does not always look pretty on the scoreboard but says a lot about character, the group pushes forward with that 10th victory and remains perfect away from home, something that demands attention in a league where consistency on the road is rare. It does not matter how many obstacles appear, this roster somehow keeps grinding, keeps responding, and keeps showing a resilience that becomes even more impressive when you consider the physical toll of a long season. And with every passing week, the commitment becomes more evident, even in games where execution is inconsistent or rhythm never fully clicks. This time, the biggest storyline right away was the wave of injury scares that could have easily ruined the tone of the afternoon. When Will Campbell went down holding his knee and Jared Wilson was helped off with what looked like another ankle issue, the entire fan base felt that jolt of concern that instantly takes over when starters drop in the middle of a tight contest. But as the night progressed, the early word began to bring a sense of relief. Instead of catastrophic ligament damage or season-ending diagnoses, the first evaluations pointed towards sprains for both players, which means there is at least a chance for them to get back sooner rather than later. And in a season where the Patriots have managed to avoid the injury avalanche that wrecked other teams, seeing multiple starters go down all at once felt like walking straight into a punch you never saw coming. One moment, everything seems under control, and the next you are scrambling, trying to settle the chaos. Even so, the offensive line held together far better than expected. Ben Brown came in and delivered a performance that showed poise and solid fundamentals, especially considering the pressure of stepping into a live game. Verdarian Lowe, though not the first option the coaching staff wants out there, used his experience to help stabilize things just enough for the offense to function. The fact that the Patriots surrendered only a single sack despite all the reshuffling deserves recognition. Of course, everyone wants Campbell and Wilson back as soon as possible, but seeing the backups handle their roles with composure gives the team at least a bit of breathing room. And beyond the injuries, the team had to navigate a game filled with moments of frustration, moments of brilliance, and moments that left everyone shaking their heads. Nothing about this matchup was clean or dominant despite facing one of the weakest offenses and defenses in the league. Yet grinding out another win on the road, staying unbeaten away from home, and keeping momentum alive heading toward the much-needed bye week is something fans should not overlook. Many teams already had their rest week, while the Patriots have been crawling toward theirs, battered and bruised, but still fighting for every inch. Mike Vrabel's words after the game captured the reality perfectly. He emphasized how in this league, every single player matters over the course of a long season, especially when you step into hostile stadiums and deal with unpredictability every weekend. Records and numbers might look pretty on paper, but none of that means anything if the team cannot execute and adapt under pressure. It was not a flashy win, nowhere near the kind of performance fans expected when looking at the matchup beforehand, but it was a victory that counts the same in the standings. And this group, with its 10 wins and perfect road record, keeps proving that even ugly football can be winning football if the fundamentals hold up. There were, of course, highlights worth celebrating. Marcus Jones delivered one of the best defensive moments of the season with that pick six, reading Joe Flacco perfectly and jumping the route before the ball even fully left the quarterback's hand. It was the kind of instinctive, explosive play that shifts momentum instantly and shows why Jones is such a key piece of this secondary. His return for a touchdown also helped make up for the earlier mistake by Drake May, whose own interception return for a score was one of his most uncharacteristic decisions of the season. Instead of placing the ball safely or throwing it away when Hunter Henry was bracketed up the seam, he floated it into trouble, and the defense made him pay. Andy Borgelis deserves his own praise as well. The rookie kicker turned in a flawless outing, knocking through 4 field goals, including a long one from beyond 50 yards. Only a few weeks ago, there were loud doubts about whether he was the right choice, whether he had the mental toughness and consistency required for the role, but the confidence he showed in this game puts those questions to rest. A good kicker should blend into the background, doing the job so smoothly and reliably that fans stop worrying about the position entirely, and Borgelis did exactly that. On offense, Hunter Henry looked dominant, using his size, timing, and chemistry with May to rack up over 100 yards and constantly find soft spots in coverage. Even with only one reception, Kyle Williams showed again why his speed and explosiveness make him such a promising weapon, especially on kick returns where he continues to change field position with one burst. The receivers overall contributed in big moments, even if the passing game never quite found its rhythm for 4 full quarters. But there is no avoiding the problems that stood out like bright warning lights. The running attack struggled badly, never settling into consistent lanes or pushing the pile the way a physical offense needs to at the goal line. Ramondre Stevenson had very few clean gaps and less involvement than expected, and the short yardage failures were painful to watch. Going 0 for 2 in the red zone made every fan groan because those missed opportunities transformed what could have been a comfortable lead into a stressful finish. The plays themselves were not terrible, but the execution lacked timing, aggression, and that ruthless edge required when you're only a few feet from the end zone. There were moments when the Patriots tried play-action rollouts, moments when they trusted Terrell Jennings to power through, moments when they attempted to catch the defense flat-footed, but none of it worked. The push on the interior was not strong enough, the leverage was not clean, and even when receivers found space, the throws missed by just enough to waste the opportunity. This was one of the lowest red zone performances of the season, and it is something that has to be fixed immediately with tougher opponents coming soon. Pressure on Joe Flacco also came and went, appearing in brief spurts rather than consistently disrupting his rhythm. Patriots fans, picking up right where we left off, the conversation around this team cannot be complete without diving into the emotional swings that shaped the second half of this matchup. It felt like every drive carried a layer of tension, as if the stadium collectively held its breath waiting to see whether the offense would finally steady itself or whether the defense would once again be forced to bail everyone out. This team has built an identity on grit, on bending without breaking, and even when the execution sputters, the competitive fire never goes out. That was on full display as the game carried into its final stretches, where every possession felt decisive even though the scoreboard suggested things were still manageable. And while the offense struggled to produce consistent rhythm, the defense played with enough urgency and swagger to keep the entire operation alive. There's a pattern that becomes clearer with each passing week. When the defense is locked in, the Patriots do not panic. Even with Drake May having an off afternoon, even with the running game stuck in neutral, there is a sense that the defense would eventually create the spark needed to flip momentum. The players on that side of the ball communicated with confidence, adjusted on the fly, and showed that they understand the responsibility of carrying the team through lulls. Carlton Davis set the tone with a handful of pass breakups that disrupted the Bengals' attempts to stretch the field. His ability to anticipate throws and make quick breaks toward the ball forced Flacco to check down far more often than he wanted. And by the second half, Cincinnati was already struggling to stay aggressive. The defensive front also had moments where it collapsed the pocket effectively, even if the pressure did not always result in sacks. The presence alone was enough to force hurried passes and limit deeper shot attempts. What becomes clear is that when guys like Milton Williams return and the rotation strengthens, the pressure rate should improve significantly. For now, the defensive line is doing just enough to disrupt timing and create opportunities for the secondary. And that secondary has been playing with swagger, highlighted once again by Marcus Jones, who brings a level of instinct and urgency that is rare even among top athletes. His pick six not only added points, but also sent a message to the rest of the league that this unit is prepared to take advantage of any hesitation or misread from opposing quarterbacks. Still, the offense must find solutions. The inconsistencies are no secret at this point. The red zone woes continued even after halftime, leaving fans wondering how a team with so many playmakers can get so close to scoring and then fall apart. The short yardage play calling tried everything from inside zone to misdirection to play action, but without cohesive execution, none of it looked convincing. The offensive line, even while fighting through injuries, could not generate the push needed to bulldoze through a stacked box. When the quarterback attempted to roll out on the goal line to find Hunter Henry, the throw sailed just far enough to miss a clean scoring opportunity. Whether it is miscommunication, hesitation, or fatigue, something in those tight spaces continues to disrupt timing and rhythm. Watching Drake navigate these moments is a reminder that even the most promising young quarterbacks will have days where things simply refuse to click. His misreads were noticeable, his footwork looked rushed at times, and the confidence he normally plays with seemed muted as the game wore on. Yet, even in a shaky performance, he delivered stretches where his athleticism and competitive edge showed why the organization believes so deeply in him. That 12-yard scramble in the second half, where he broke free, lowered his shoulder, and pushed for extra yards, was a flash of the fearless style that has defined his early success. He did not shy away from contact, and he was not afraid to take control when the pocket collapsed. Those small moments matter because they show that even on a rough day, May still pushes the team forward rather than shrinking from responsibility. The receivers also had their fingerprints on the game's emotional swings. Hunter Henry played like a veteran determined to take over, finding pockets of space between linebackers and safeties, catching everything thrown his way, and delivering chunk plays that kept drives alive. His chemistry with May has only grown stronger, and seeing him rack up more than 100 yards felt like confirmation of just how central he is to this offense. Kyle Williams, despite limited touches, continued to show why the staff trusts his explosiveness. His single reception came on a sharp, decisive route that displayed both speed and awareness. And the fact that he's becoming a consistent presence on kick returns suggests that the coaches want to get the football into his hands any way possible. His quick acceleration after securing the ball gives the offense better starting field position, something that became especially valuable in a game where every inch mattered. But perhaps no sequence captured the frustrations of the afternoon more than the missed touchdown opportunity involving Keyshawn Bout. The route was clean, he created enough separation, and the ball was placed where only he could make a play on it. Instead of securing what would have been a crucial score, the defender committed interference, at least guaranteeing the penalty yards but robbing the team of a well-earned moment. It was the kind of play that simultaneously lifts and deflates a sideline. The offense knew they had a touchdown in their hands, yet they had to settle for a reset instead of celebrating the payoff. Moments like that can be mentally draining, especially for a young quarterback trying to build rhythm. And while the passing game teetered throughout the afternoon, the rushing attack did not fare any better. Ramondre Stevenson, who normally thrives between the tackles and delivers punishing yards after contact, barely saw daylight. The defensive front for Cincinnati crowded the gaps, forcing the Patriots into constant long yardage situations. Terrell Jennings also struggled to find traction, and the few times he did manage to squeeze through traffic, the defense quickly closed in before he could accelerate into the second level. The offensive line fought hard despite being patched together mid-game, but without consistent rhythm or leverage, no one was able to generate meaningful momentum on the ground. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to Patriots Hub and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep delivering the latest updates on our New England Patriots. And don't be shy. Share your thoughts on the news in the comments below. A quiet murmur that began behind closed doors has exploded into one of the loudest rumors circling the league. The Patriots may be preparing a bold move to pry Breece Hall away from their longtime rivals, the Jets. What started as an offhand whisper from someone described as familiar with internal chatter has snowballed into full-blown speculation, stirring equal parts disbelief and fascination among fans and insiders. The idea alone feels incendiary. A breakout talent known for his explosive acceleration and effortless balance, Hall has been one of the Jets' most guarded assets. The very possibility of him wearing Patriots colors has sent shockwaves through both fan bases, igniting debates on sports radio, message boards, and any corner of the football world where rumors thrive. Some claim that the Patriots have quietly conducted exploratory conversations, gauging not only Hall's availability, but the potential cost of such a daring acquisition. Others insist this is nothing more than misdirection, a deliberately leaked ember designed to confuse rivals or nudge another negotiation along. Still, the smoke refuses to clear. There is talk of the Patriots seeing Hall as a transformative piece, someone capable of redefining their backfield and bringing a dynamic spark reminiscent of past eras. Meanwhile, Jet supporters are dismissing the rumor as an impossibility, arguing that no scenario would justify sending a rising star directly to a division rival. Even so, uncertainty lingers, and the buzz continues to grow as more anonymous voices weigh in with cryptic hints about internal tensions, long-term visions, and shifting roster strategies. Whether this is a legitimate pursuit or simply one of those off-season tremors that never becomes reality, the rumor has achieved its purpose. Everyone is suddenly paying very close attention. And until someone steps forward to shut it down definitively, the league will keep watching the horizon, wondering whether this bombshell is a spark destined to fizzle out, or the start of a stunning twist in a rivalry that never sleeps. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our New England Patriots, be sure to subscribe to Patriots Hub and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.